Hi there, and welcome to Faith in 5, where we believe you could build your faith in just 5 minutes. I'm your host, Reggie, and I'm back with another exciting episode. Hope you guys are doing great. Today we're going to be in the Word. We're going to be in Romans 5, the book of Romans, chapter 5, starting in verse 6. And I want to just think about something. Have you ever been through a hard time? And you got through that hard time and it made you stronger? See, a lot of you can relate. So my next question is, what do you do with it? And we're going to talk about it a little bit in today's story. In Romans 5, starting in verse 6, the Bible reads, "You see, at just the right time, when we are still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person, though for a good person, someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrated his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." Amazing story and a real story. While we were still in our sin, Christ died for us. Now, how long ago was this book written? Long time ago, right? But today it's still resonating with us because we saw what God has done to make his appeal on our behalf so we can have a relationship with us. He allowed his son to die. And now we're here. You see, the story of this really transcends all generations. We still remember it. We keep it in front of us because we know it changed our lives dramatically. You see, the point I want to make now, stories don't need to be wasted. You see, we each have a story. Once we're in Christ, guess what? God creates our own little story. And our stories are not meant for us. Our stories are meant to help others. That pain we go through, that blessing we went through, whatever is going on in our lives, our stories are meant to be shared. You know, I just wanted to share a quick story someone real close to me shared, a great friend and a close friend shared. And she was telling me about a story about a woman that she worked with about 2 years ago. They worked pretty much on the same project, and she felt like this woman really was mean to her, was kind of burly, was very short. Okay? So she really had a problem. It's like, oh my gosh, what did I do to her? So that happened. So let's fast forward 2 years later. 2 years later, she meets the same woman. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm working with her today. Here we go. But here's what happens. She starts to talk a little bit more, build a relationship with her, and everything seems to go well. It seemed like this woman dramatically changed. So as she's talking to the woman tells her, you know what? I've been saved. And she was like, the lady was like, wow, that's why her attitude's changed. She's been saved. She's changed. And they built the relationship, but they were just working on a short time for that project. So after the project was over, they separated. She went away. But what happened was this. Afterwards, she left the woman. You know, they work on a project. They're business owners and independent. She forgot to put in her billable hours. So this particular woman forgot to put in her billable hours. And so she tells the person, the company or whatever, hey, listen, those billable hours I forgot to put in, please play this woman here. And the woman was my friend I was telling you about, my close confidant that talked about the bad relationship she had at first with the woman and saw how it changed because that woman had a relationship with God. But not only that, that woman gave her pay to the other woman she had bad intentions with in the beginning. What happened? It's because she connected with God and had a relationship with God and changed it. Can you believe it? Somebody giving you their pay? Well, that's what happened. She gave her pay. And listen, if that doesn't make an impact, you know what does, right? Somebody gives you their pay for the day. So after hearing that story, I said, wow, that is amazing. But you see, that's the power of God. That's how he changes lives. You see, that great friend of mine told me that story, but I didn't waste that story. She didn't waste that story. She told it to me, and I'm sharing it with you. So what's my point here? Don't waste the stories that God puts in your life. Because those stories can change lives. Just like the story of Jesus dying when we wasn't even right with him, when we were still in our sin, resonates with us today. Guys, I thank you for listening to me today. I hope you enjoyed today's Faith in 5. If you like what you heard, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time on Faith in 5.